everyone. This is the first time on this channel. We'll be doing a race review. We're trying to make it energetic, fun. Hopefully, it's amazing. But let's get started. Okay? So, cue the intro, whatever that will be. Alright, so let's start getting into the nitty-gritty of what happened on Saturday's race. So, to start off, Christopher Bell starts on pole. He has a fast hot rod in qualifying, has set 3 straight pole positions, and that has found him in horrible finishes though. They have not finished races well, especially Darlington. Darlington was a disgrace for the 20 team, and the pit road disasters in this exact car. Like this Yahoo car is like a fucking curse. It's horrible. The team cannot find consistency in any way, shape, or form when it comes down to road. After changing pit crews, it's unfathomable. But anyhow, I'll stop rambling. The 20 team sits on pole for tonight's or last Saturday night's race, and they do surprisingly very well at the start. They clear Hamlin off the line. Rick Allen says Hamlin wasn't expecting it. I mean, it's a restart on lap 1, but whatever. So Bell takes the lead, kind of holdingly, and McDowell, with an amazing third place qualifying, starts this race off immensely strong in a P3 position. Takes second for like 2 laps from Hamlin. Don't go anywhere. Hamlin takes that shit right back, and it doesn't matter. But Hamlin, so Bell led about, I'd say, let me just check the math, 1 second. So, after 10 minutes of trying to find the timeline thing on the NASCAR app, I finally found it. So, Bell took the lead about lap 20. He caught lap traffic. And then at lap 69, great number, by the way, the obvious happened. Austin Cindric and AJ Allmendinger were doing Austin Cindric and AJ Allmendinger things, wrecking and running 30th. So, watch and learn as you see 2 masters at the art, the best in their craft.
Yeah, right there. Racing for 14th position. Cindric just gets into the left side of the...
So, after the Cindric Allmendinger spedism, we get to a caution where 8 cars would stay out. LaJoie would be the leader. Bubba Wallace would be like sucking up there. Logano would be up there. Reddick, Chastain would be up there. All playoff bubble guys, or LaJoie, who had nothing to lose. And they take the green flag. Bell, who was leading, would start 9th on that restart. But quickly, Bell would cut through the field. But Corey LaJoie was having a night. An absolute night. He went up there and led, I think, like 30-something laps. I mean, at the end of the stage, I thought he had a chance to win the stage. It was really, really close. Props to the 7 team for bringing speed. It was really good. It was a really big moment for him and for his career. It was a really good job. Showed some more talent, and why Spire is an up-and-coming team. Some drivers who made great calls, Bubba Wallace, those stage points that he would eventually earn, stage points, I believe he would end up finishing in 3rd. So he would end up getting 8 stage points. Huge, huge implications for not only the playoffs, but this whole race. But I think Chastain would end up getting 5th. Yes, he finished 5th, so he got 6 stage points. You also had, that's about it, I think, for playoff bubble guys getting stage points. Joey Logano, what happened there? I mean, there was a caution, I forget for what. I think there was a spin or something. And on the restart, he just dropped like a rock through the field, man. I mean, Logano went from running 9th to going a lap down. Like, so quickly. It was unbelievable. So no stage points for the 22 team would be detrimental. And going into stage 2, the whole race outcome would look different for that 22 team on if they would make the round of 12. So after the stage 1, which was really entertaining stage 1, we go into stage 2, and they're taking a very long time going green again. And yet again, a typical NASCAR fashion, it seemed to happen so many times this season. the fucking rain appeared and ruined our night for like 30 minutes. It wasn't that long, but still a pain in the ass. And rain was kind of an issue all night. That's what the caution was before. It wasn't a wreck. Actually, that caution late in stage 1 was for rain. I looked and checked. So, rain was a plague for the first half of this race. And if it caused a red flag, we got by going after like 30, 40 minutes. It wasn't a very long red flag. And that is how stage 2 would start on, like, I believe, lap 31. So, the race from this point on would go green for about 100 laps. Joey Logano, after pitting at the end of stage 1, was buried in traffic after his ill-handling car. He took 2 tires, on the restart beforehand. Then he came down the pit road at the end of stage 1, lost all the track position he did have that left from staying out, the 2-tire pit call. And he loses a lap to Christopher Bell. He wasn't the only one, though. Kevin Harvick was having an atrocious night, an unacceptable night for the 14. Kevin Harvick is a good enough driver and a good enough Bristol racer to not be 5 laps down by the end of this race. That's what he would end up. That car had to be slower than the Rick Ware cars. I think it was. So, to have that happen is ridiculous. And to see him get knocked out of the playoffs, which obviously would happen like that, was ridiculous. So, he would lose a lap as well, as he took no tires. No, I apologize. He took 2 tires at the end of stage 1. Sorry. So he would be out and get track position and then just drop. I remember he started like 8th or 9th and then just dropped all the way to like dead last. The 4 car. He looked like a moving chicane out there. That's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all for the 4 team and Kevin Harvick. On lap 79, Kyle Larson, for the first time tonight, someone passed Christopher Bell to take the lead during lap traffic. Larson was able to slide on by and take the lead from Christopher Bell. And then, just about 20 laps later, Christopher Bell gets the lead right back from Kyle Larson, as his car seems to be kind of mediocre as they went on to the long run. Christopher Bell would end up winning stage 2 as well, with Larson coming home in P2, I believe, or Denny Hamlin. One of those two. I can't quite remember, and I'm not looking back. So, there you go. Bell sweeping stages. The crew has not made mistakes at all tonight, and neither has Bell. Is this the 20 team's night? No. So, the start of stage 3. Let's get to that. The restart that derailed Joey Logano's championship aspirations this season. So, they go green. Ty Gibbs takes the green flag. He would be the race leader the rookie had an amazing night at Bristol. He really did a great job. Ran the top 5 all night. Ended up with a top 5 finish. Led a bunch of laps. I thought at one point he could win this race. That's beside the point. This restart, he leads us to the green. And in 12th place, just a few laps into the run. Oh no, I believe 1 lap into the run. Half a lap. Coy LaJoie would get loose from 12th place. Spin down the back straightaway. Hit the inside wall and come sliding up into oncoming traffic. And sadly, Joey Logano had nowhere to go. He would end up getting collected, and it would end up ruining the 22's day. Disappointing, no doubt. Other cars would be involved, like Ty Dillon, Coy LaJoie, obviously, who spun on the back. I think 31 of Haley. I think Joey was the only playoff driver, but yeah, Joey Logano's championship aspirations destroyed off of bad pit calls. Bad pit calls, putting themselves back there, not having pace to stay on the lead lap in the 22 Penske car is ridiculous at Bristol as well. Like, those 2 4 teams of Harvick and Joey Logano did not show up. They didn't show up, and that bit them in the ass. So, Joey Logano would end up breaking something really bad in the suspension. He would go behind the wall, and his day was over. So, after that incident, they would go back green. Ty Gibbs would be the leader, but eventually, he kind of checked out. Ty Gibbs kind of just checked out for a bit, but eventually on lap 359, Denny Hamlin would end up taking the race lead. Yes, Denny Hamlin, who had the best car at Darlington, who had the best car at Kansas, who had the best car again tonight at Bristol. He's the championship favorite. That's just a fact. Denny Hamlin is the championship favorite. When will he choke it? We'll see. Possibly the next round. We can all see with the 11 team. They probably will do something dumb in the round of 8. and be out in the round of 8. But we have faith right now. Not for very long. So, after lap 59, just a few laps later, while lapping the 19 car, Martin Truex Jr., he would get loose on the front stretch and kind of wreck. NASCAR kind of threw that caution kind of early. I mean, I thought he was wrecking. When I was watching it, I was like, oh shit, he's going to DNF. He's going to wreck hard. But somehow Truex was able to gather that baby up. He was like +5 as they ran. So kind of a lucky break that he didn't end his day because he would have been knocked out of the playoffs. Yes, the Martin Truex Jr. who won the regular season, who has a bunch of race wins, who is a title favorite. Yeah. Great playoff system, guys. So, that would bring on a yellow. So, after the late race yellow on lap 70-something, lap 71, 2, whatever, it doesn't really matter, Denny Hamlin would lead him to the green and check out. I mean, Hamlin went and checked out and was starting to lap guys in the teens again by the end of the race on lap 500. He was absolutely lights out. The 11 team executed perfectly. It wasn't no late race shenanigans to steal the win from him again. It wasn't a random lug nut issue like they had at Darlington or the late race shenanigans like they had at Kansas. They had luck on their side for once. Larson would end up finishing second. He had a decent day. He had an amazing first 3 races of the playoffs. I mean, a win, a good top 5, or at least a top 5 run at Kansas. And, a second place at Bristol, one of his best tracks. It was a great round. And that really puts Kyle Larson on the map. But 4 drivers do, unfortunately, miss the round of 12. Those 4 being 2 pre-mentioned, Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick, who would both be out by, I believe, 4 points. So, disappointing from them. 4 points was 100% on the table. And they squandered that opportunity wholesale. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. would end up missing as well, even though he, to Ricky's credit, would end up finishing 10th. A solid day, but just not enough. If he would have had a top 5 run and maybe some stage points, I think he could have 100% point his way in, but not enough. Too little too late. But the 34 car of Michael McDowell and that team and him, the driver, the crew, everything needs all the praise in the world. He qualified 3rd, like I said. Ran top 3, top 5 all race long. He would end up finishing P6. An amazing night. Nothing to scoff at. This 34 team showed what they should have done all first 2 races of the playoffs. They missed it at Darlington really bad. Kansas just didn't have the pace. But props to that 34 team. Didn't go down without a fight. They finished 6th. Still too many points. I believe they were 19 points out. So, a shame, no doubt. But the guy who is so lucky that Bubba Wallace did DNF and a great strategy call at stage 1. They got him 8 stage points. Told the others was important. Bubba Wallace squeaks by with 4 points. After being 19 points out entering this race. I don't think anyone saw him winning this. Not winning this. Yeah. Making the playoffs. 19 points is a huge deficit for Kyle Larson, let alone Bubba Wallace. He executed, though. The team executed. He executed. For once, 23-11 executed. Props to the team for finally not fucking themselves and the driver. That's really rare for this team. So a non-23-11 moment. We'll have some again. I guarantee. So all in all, Denny Hamlin dominated the day. Kind of been the story of this first 3 races of the playoffs. Just he ended up winning. Ended up making snarky comments about everyone's driver. The fans loved Denny Hamlin at Bristol. They were applauding him as he won this race, and they were so happy to see him once he got out of his car. Anyways. So, what do I put this race at on my infamous, which is not here in real life, but will be once I do my amazing editing job, on what I'm going to be the ripoff of the Groupie Gauge. And Gauge is Gauge. Because my name is Gauge. So, what I will be scoring this race on the Gauge's Gauge. So, it will be, I think the race was okay. The rain kind of killed the formula. I'm going to give this race a 69%. Okay, this is a perfect example of the Cindric mounting Allmendinger. 69% is what I'm giving this race. I didn't love it, really. I really didn't. There was some good racing here and there, but it was so hard to pass. So 69% is what it's getting. It was a good race. I'm not saying it was bad. Like, it's getting a passing grade, but barely. I think the playoffs and the drama is really what saved this race. If this isn't a playoff race, it's kind of forgettable. I didn't love it. I love Bristol. I think it's one of, if not the best track, it's one of the best on the schedule. And a mediocre day is not what Bristol should be doing. They should be putting on shows like in 2021, which was a masterclass of action and fun. 2020 was awesome. Like the fall Bristol races were just so amazing, and even the spring races for those races. One was dirt, but that's not the point. But yeah, so our round of 12 recipients are as followed: Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Busher, Bell, Kyle Busch, Reddick, Truex, Ross Chastain, Blaney, and last but certainly not least, the masked man and Bubba Wallace. So on to Texas. Yippee. I know we're all hyping for joy for Texas Motor Speedway and its amazing moments. But anyway, thank you for watching the first installment of Gage's Race Review. This will be a weekly occurrence. If it's not, then I apologize. But I'm going to edit this. I hate editing, so it better be a masterclass of editing. Thank you for watching. Yes.